Yeah, no, that's that's a good point on how all that works. A couple other nice, easy ones for you. We're gonna, this is a fun one. I can't wait till you answer this one because you're either gonna make a lot of people really mad or a lot of people really happy. So, is the North really the better region?
I don't. I'm going to tell you now that I don't think they are.
Okay, all right, that's
Everybody.
fine.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now everybody thinks that the North is better than the North is better than the South. You want to know why the North thinks the North is better than the South? Because you come to these All-Star games, right? And you play the South, right? And you're like, these guys aren't that good. That's because most of the guys are so far south they don't want to go up to the All-Star game. Mike builds a roster, and we're taking secondary players. I don't. I personally think the South is stronger. Um, at almost every level. I think amateur North is probably the strongest amateur level, but I think the South is stronger at almost every level. I think the Aztecs and the Howell Indians can beat anybody in the North. And I could go through the intermediate South. Maybe the intermediate South, North might have had. I don't even know. No, you had the Ballers and the Power in the playoffs last year. I think the Cardinals or the Cubs would have beat them in the playoffs. Sorry,
So,
Craig. You were
uh,
weak last year.
that was great. So it's interesting. I don't know. I can't claim to know. I don't watch enough games to know either side. I just know that through my experience when we were an amateur and we played the South,
Well,
it was
amateur was good.
yeah,
Amateur North is an outlier. That was a very competitive level for years. So
yeah,
I'm not going to take anything away from that level, but
yeah.
you guys got to remember, I've played in intermediate South for the
True.
last 6 years. I've been playing forever. And I go to these games. I watch these players, and like the best pitcher I saw last year played on the Somerset Cardinals. I never saw a pitcher that threw last year. That pitcher was the best pitcher I saw in the entire year, maybe last 2 years. That was the
We
UNC guy.
we need to bring back the North
So
South championship games then. Get those going
the
again.
May
problem,
have
the
to.
problem,
Yeah.
the problem with that is the schedule is never aligned, and
Yeah.
nobody wants to play on holidays, and it's very difficult. People aren't going to be like, you see, you could do North South, and don't get me wrong. Let me just say the midweek thing, right? Just so we can just go back to your question real quick, and I'll go back to the North South. The midweek, I absolutely hate it in the sense of the amount of work it is. It's not that I don't want to do it for the teams, but just imagine you're at home eating with your family, the lights don't come on. You got to drop everything you're doing in your life to go and deal with making 50 calls. So for me, the price that we charge for midweek is not nearly the worth for what, in my opinion, it should be for my life. To disrupt my life, it should be the most profitable league in all of the leagues, and it's the least profitable. Okay. So in my opinion, with the North-South games, I would almost be okay with it if we did it during the week. You want to play a North-South game? You do it during the week. This way, we don't have to take time out of our lives to, on a weekend again, another weekend. Because keep in mind, me and Mike, we're at all the finals. And if we're not there, somebody else is there because we have to, because we're at the other ones. We're not taking those days off. We're either at one place or the other. Me and Mike are kind of trying go around our kids' schedule. Like, Mike, you go here, I'll go here, then I'll go here, you go here, so that we could go to these things to support each other, so we could be around our kids when they're playing in their championships or whatever. And so those extra games, they add so much pressure to us because we have to be there, belt, and trophy, or whatever. I'm not opposed to it. I think it would be a lot easier during the week, and I think it would. The guys would like it, but there's a cost factor to all of that. For me, what's the belt costing? $100? I don't even know what we paid for that belt.
I don't know.
$250
After what you just said, and being a representative of the North, I wouldn't want a belt. I just want to go beat them to prove that we're better. So you're not gonna have to do much. I'll take my team and I'll go take
Set the
on
game up.
Greg, and we'll be good. We'll see what happens. No, and then one more before we wrap up. Look, I know you guys have been doing this for a long time, and you've been players, you've been managers, and obviously you're running a league. So, straightforward. What do you have more fun doing? Do you have more fun running it? Do you have more fun playing in it, or do you have more fun running a team? What is your personal opinion on it? Let's hear it, both of you.
I think I have, it's been years since I've laced them up and gone to play, but I can say that it is fun kind of being able to run the league and just have the amount of support that we have, knowing that we're kind of, we wanted to do this because we wanted to put a better product out there for our, teammates or opponents and basically all our peers. And to kind of see it get to where it is today, knowing that the decisions that we've made along the way have kind of put us in this position. I mean, there is a lot of value to it. But I'll go on a tangent. I'll kind of go in a different direction, like not league related. Like I've played and I've run the league and I've run a team, but I think, watching my kids play has been like a different type of, fulfillment, I think, on the field. So it's it's different, but it's like so worth it. I do enjoy the years not playing at this point, because I think with the league, running the league and being proud of what it has built up to be, and then watching my kids play on the field as a father, as a coach, I'm pretty fulfilled from a baseball standpoint these days.
Yeah, I don't.
Good
For me,
answer.
I have no idea. For me, I think that I really do love playing. I mean, I just went to Florida in a tournament, so I think that running the league is the daily aspect of running a league, the weekends, umpires is takes a toll on you throughout the year. Imagine trying to get 200 guys on a Sunday to ump your games, and then the calls, but I like running a league. I do. I had to choose between one or the other. I'd rather just play and not manage a team. In my opinion, I would never give up the league, because we built something that's great, but I like playing it, and I'll miss it because the same scenario that Mike just said. I have to see my son play. Like, I just can't wait for him to hit that home run. I have to watch him. So, that's taken me off the game some, so, but there is a different element. Like he's saying, when you're watching your kid play, you kind of start to appreciate, like when you ran your team or played back in the day, like it's that feeling again. You know what I mean? So
Right.
but I prefer to play. I do love playing. Like I can still hit. So I'd love to I still come on and play.
So there you go. So that tells you to me, that tells you something. I mean, obviously, you have families and you like to see your kids play. I've got a little bit of ways there. I got a 7-month-old boy who I'm trying to get
Little bit.
started. A little young. I'm thinking ground balls when he's 1, and we'll work it from there. That's my plan. So I got some time, but that makes a lot of sense. But to me, it also says that you are doing the league because you genuinely want to have a place for all of these guys to play baseball, and it not, that's the focus of it, because you have other things in your life that you could easily take priority over this and not run this league and not do anything in this league. You could just play, Tim and Mike, you just go watch, your son play and your kids and whatnot, and you'd be perfectly content. But to me, it shows that you guys really are in this because you want everybody to have that opportunity, and you want everybody to be able to play the game that they grew up playing and that they love. So I think that says a lot about the two of you guys and how you do this, and shows that you guys are in it for all the right reasons and not the wrong reasons. So I think that's extremely valuable when push comes to shove. So I commend you both for that, and thank you for putting it all together back when you did, and going through all the stuff you did to get us where we are now, and look at that. 100+ teams, multiple seasons, fall, spring, summer, midweek, which we know Tim loves, and is just to have us all go play some baseball. So, as far as I'm concerned, I think we've got most of everything we need. Is there anything that you two wanted us to talk about that we didn't talk about, or do you two feel comfortable with where we are? And I don't know if I didn't touch on something you wanted to talk about.
No, I mean, I think for now, I hope you're gonna have us back on again to talk.
Of course.
So
we're gonna milk you guys. We're gonna
be plenty to talk about. Believe me. And there'll be managers and teams that you guys speak to that you're gonna want maybe Tim on for or me on, just because there is a history potentially with them. Definitely spice it up a bit. I think the one last thing that I'll say about like the league and the enjoyment and all that stuff, I think the reason that we like continue to do it and continue to find ways to make it better is that because like I've always felt growing up that there was always a sense of community with baseball. Like I felt like everything was interconnected. If you look like across the league, like you have teammates on other teams or friends who are, there's just like, you can find connections everywhere. And, for me, it's like I look out and I find like old college teammates that are still playing in the league, and I've seen some retire and I see some that are still managing, like Joel Rivera, he's with the Old Bridge Tigers. He was Rutgers Newark. Like I see a lot of them come through and it's like, I don't know, it's weird, but it's like a family in a sense. And I think that's always how we've tried to treat teams and managers and players, because we look at it as like this is a community that we helped to build. But we didn't do it by ourselves because people had to have faith in us, believe in us, and we had to deliver to them. But, we brought all these people together and, keeping them together, I think has always been a goal because of that love for the game. So we want to do right and we want to try to deliver the best thing that we can. And I think that's part of the reason why we still do it. We love watching our kids play and everything else that's there, but there is a lot of fulfillment knowing that, we're helping to bring all these people together every spring, every fall, midweek season, whatever it is.
That was great. That's fine.
We'll
we'll end on that. So I'm gonna. That's fine. We will definitely end on that. I think I appreciate your time with everything. And again, there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to have you guys back on at different points because there's always going to be things. I think we're even going to name it a segment. I think we'll maybe Commissioner's Corner or something like that, where we get you to talk about some history or who knows? Maybe we just get you on here to BS about whatever, anything, how a game went or how a weekend went or All-Star game, or maybe we have a follow-up for the party or whatever. So I think that's a great idea.
It would be.
Maybe we can give you maybe one more thing.
Oh yeah,
Tim,
do
you want to break the news?
News? Ladies and gentlemen, we have wait, do we have breaking news here?
Text you real quick. Come on, text real quick.
Wow, we might have. This is going to be a. This is breaking news right here. We might have it live.
Yeah. You want to do that here? Or do you want to wait?
Yeah. We can do it here. So this isn't really going to affect the North yet. Too much, but we are taking over the D4 league in Central Jersey. That was part of the USABL, which is a midweek league, a high competitive midweek league in the South. So they have, I think, 8 to 10 teams that we're taking on from the South. So, for the South teams, if Bullets, for example, want to play in a more competitive week league, that's built with those teams, So yes, we are going to do that. We have not announced it yet because of the party and everything, but it is definitely done. And sat with a meeting with them. They were, it's either they came to us or they were going to run it themselves, and they decided, that what we do will make it. We have a better chance at growing it because of what we're doing, and we do. We actually can have potentially 2 divisions in the South now: D4, like Premier, and D4, like regular D4, whatever. So we're growing there more week.
Wow,
so
that's great.
It's
great. Just more growth.
Another thing coming.
2025.
You asked about the future.
I did.
Yeah.
And you know what? I did ask about the future. That's right. And you guys, you held out on me, but you came back around.
You wanted material, man. We came with material. We're bringing material for you.
Right.
Tonight.
Don't worry. I could.
Muddy Dugout podcast, breaking news.
Right.
I could give you a whole call on how a weekend goes. You'd be like, no, that's not true.
I listen.
You would never believe what goes on.
No. I believe it. Fields, all that stuff.
Or rain out. A rain out. A rain out is a good segment. And if just a rain out, that's good. On the things that people text me the morning of rain. Oh God. We could go on and on.
You could probably have a podcast on like the worst moments we've ever had in history.
For
that
sure,
we
we're going to
encountered.
have that podcast.
Like you
That's
could have a
100%
whole
going to happen.
podcast about that.
And the best,
Like that.
and the most. We're gonna come up with a whole bunch of them. We're gonna add segments throughout the course of the year and whatnot for sure. Bringing you guys back on board because this is great. And again, like I kind of I've kind of hinted at this before. I think it's a really good opportunity for you guys to really showcase who you two are, which is valuable in this whole thing because you're the two that started it and keep it going. So. And that's important. I think everybody should know who you are and your personalities and what you are. So, again, we really appreciate it. So, all right. Well, I'm just going to say this real quick. Appreciate you guys taking your time and coming on with us. I know Craig was having some mic issues temporarily, but I know he appreciates it as well for you guys taking time out of your schedule tonight to come sit and talk with us. And we really do appreciate it. We're definitely going to have you guys on in the future. But thanks for hanging out with us.
Of course, and we'll see you Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
See you at the event on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. Wait. We saw you at the event on Sunday. I gotcha.
You got me. Yep.